Are Reiksguard any good in patch 5.0? So it's not that I've been avoiding them, but Reiksguard are largely the same as you remember. They haven't changed much, though their special building definitely helps. Recruited for 1150 base and 288 upkeep, Reiksguard comes 60 entities strong. They are now recruited from the Tier 3 of the Stables building chain, the Livery, or the Reiksguard special building in Altdorf, though that can only get you more Reiksguard. Health is 6,960 unit-wide for entity health 116. Armor is 120, with bronze-quality cavalry shields blocking 30% of small arms missiles from the front. Leadership is 75, speed 78, charge speed 108. Melee attack begins at 34 with an attack interval of 5.1, but this is lance cavalry. Attack animations are lightning quick, no splash damage. Melee defense starts at 31. I'll bring up Empire Knights for comparison. Weapon strength is 40, split between base 28 and armor piercing 12. Weapon strength is very hard to raise with Reiksguard and other normal quote-unquote cavalry in Empire. Charge bonus is 62, and mass is 1000 per mounted knight. So as you can see, Reiksguard are straight upgrades to Empire Knights and are priced to reflect that. Now, the flavor text for Reiksguard takes all the effort out of me. Let me read. Equipped with the best armor and weapons, Reiksguard deliver a powerful charge, then remain amongst the throng to continue fighting. This is the Reiksguard in a nutshell. They aren't intended to fight completely isolated because that means more small entities are hitting them and dinging the armor, but Reiksguard are only 60 entities at max strength and take up more space. No matter that they're mounted, without the benefit of a charge, they're just really, really well-armored swordsmen, plus 10 extra weapon damage from not being Empire Knights. That's it. Everything else, all the glory and honor, really comes from the charges, especially cycle charges. But they're a good 5 better in melee defense than Knights of the Blazing Sun default. The Reiksguard have more staying power. Before I move on, Castle Reiksguard in its Tier 4 version grants a special benefit like other chapter houses do. In this case, you get a mild general upkeep reduction for Knights, a minus 35% recruitment cost benefit for Reiksguard to help you spam them, minus 1 recruitment time to help you spam them because it's 2 normally, plus 3 recruit rank to the Reiksguard to help you spam them, and devastating flanker. Yes, the Slanesh ability. As I stated earlier, it's difficult to get weapon strength up, but for 15 glorious seconds and at a decaying rate, Reiksguard will do vastly outsized weapon strength. The problem with this is that most of it is base damage. The amazing thing about it is that, hey, it's one thing when we're discussing a single entity with 500 weapon strength. 40 plus the adjusted charge bonus gets nuts. Per knight. And spoiler, this means it's often better to have 1 or 2 Reiksguard in an army rather than 4 or 6, but we'll get to that. In the redline skills, Speed of Horse grants, of course, plus 10% speed maximum and plus 9 flat charge bonus maximum, so from 62 to 71, provided you are charging, which depends on your battlefield opportunities. That helps. Taste for Battle grants rank 7 and up Reiksguard plus 5 leadership, plus 5 melee attack, and plus 12 flat charge bonus, so our number goes up to 83. The rest is very nice too. The tech tree has overall gotten stronger for Empire Cavalry. Improved cavalry armor adds plus 15 armor, so it's 135 now, no joke. Plus 10% missile resistance, which is great because it mitigates even gunfire. Endurance training grants the old reduced fatigue buildup of 15%, which was great but not enough for a single research tech. But now you get plus 10% speed on top of that. That's great! Blinkers adds plus 8 leadership, meaning leadership is really getting high now. And plus 10 flat charge bonus, so that's up to 93. And that's the number I kept seeing in my campaigns. With the rest unlocked, you get the Inner Circle, granting plus 5 melee attack, plus 5 melee defense, and immunity to psychology, so no terror routing. The bonuses were plus 4 each before. As I recently covered, Franz can lavish Reiksguard with minus 15% upkeep, plus 8 melee attack, and plus 10 bonus versus large, which at 60 entities and 40 weapon strength is a substantial benefit fighting enemy cav. Of special mention is the new Empire Captain. Admired Man-at-Arms grants upkeep minus 5% for cavalry, plus 5% speed, and plus 5 percentile charge bonus for cavalry. And yes, this would stack if you have multiple captains spec'd this way. That's important because Devastating Flanker can raise 93 to 186. 186 is freaking insane. 186 means weapon strength 40 becomes weapon strength 226 on the initial hit, split between 155 base and 68 armor piercing per knight. Yeah, not every knight will connect, but come on, this is going to hurt. Of course, the problem with this is that you can't charge everything from the flank. If you're intercepted by, let's say, Chaos Furies, you can't even charge them from the front because they're in the air until contact, and yes, it's happened to me, and yes, it was very frustrating. And aside from those particularly glorious charges, the Reiksguard have a defined limit. Armor-piercing enemies will chew them up, and they're not particularly effective against the likes of Chaos Warriors, man-sized entities with very heavy armor. In other words, as for how you use Reiksguard, they're perfect for crushing other Empire factions and other squishies, and only useful against greenskins until they do Stone Troll Doom stacks, which they're known to do. Reiksguard, in contrast, are amazing at punching down, or is that stabbing down? They bully the weak and vile. They're very difficult for even normal spearmen to damage efficiently. They're better at pitched melee than Empire Knights. They're always a threat to break loose and crush multiple units of crossbowmen. Their charges hurt. Having said that, Thrones of Decay only makes worse the general prejudice against Reiksguard as a Carl-only feature unit because now Knights of the Black Rose exist. And don't get me wrong, I raved about that unit, and I understand as a Carl main with Empire that Reiksguard really are his thing at heart. But it's to say they range from not bad to absolutely broken, dependent on the situation. That's both the strength and the weakness. They are usable in a wide range of situations, but they are only good at some of them, many of which are early game situations, though far from all. That's why I said you'll often be better with 1 or 2, with the Devastating Flanker bonus running especially, than 4 or 6. Being free to micro them is a big deal. The blunt fact is that if you want cavalry that you can leave in combat, neglect, and find them not broken the next time you glance at them, Knights of the Black Rose are the better bet. Reiksguard will do more damage on charges, and that's even without Devastating Flanker as a late-game strat. But just like how with basketball players, you can't teach reach, you can never give Reiksguard elite armor piercing. Although I will mention that I have abused the Razor Standard on them and never regretted it. Keep in mind that we've only discussed the base unit plus the Chapter House, not magic, not hero buffs, because I expect you to use cavalry independent of those things quite a bit. But harmonic convergence on a Reiksguard unit just before it makes contact for plus 24 melee attack and melee defense is absolutely worth it. Feed the hot hand and hot hoof. They're at their most powerful when cycle charging, but cycle charging can be a time loss you can't afford. In that case, just remember that Anvil units exist for a reason. Reiksguard ideally have a throng to fight amongst. So, throng away. Drive your enemies into the loving embrace of a halberdier thicket. You'll like it, they won't. Just because you have fancy armor and a lance doesn't mean you have to fight alone out there. And if a warrior priest should wade in and invoke the name of Sigmar, all the better. Take care, and have fun showing the rebels that treason doesn't pay. Because they aren't armored like Chaos Warriors, so base damage is very effective on them.